Good morning. Welcome to Town Gurus Realty's Daily Dish. Glad to see everybody here again this morning. And we're going to be doing this again each weekday, just giving you guys some tips, trainings, and tools to help you succeed as a realtor. As we went over yesterday, we're going to be talking a bit about prospecting, and more specifically, prospecting for listings. Well, what's the best way to prospect for listings, or where do I find listings? And one of the things people say, well, I really have my listing presentation down, but I'm not doing 2, 3, 4 listing appointments a week. And that's really your goal. If you do 3 listing appointments a week, really, if you do 2 listing appointments a week, and you're good at this, you can close nearly all of them. I had a realtor that worked in our Cherry Hill office back at when I was still back in the Better Homes Realty days, and he had gone 6 years without having a listing appointment that he didn't leave with the listing signed. I thought that was absolutely incredible. But when you talk to him and you realize what he did, he set up the appointments right, so he knew he was getting the listing before he went. And he had a really strong pricing conversation, which that's a whole other topic. We'll talk about pricing a house right and things like that later. But just going back to what I was saying, if you did 3 a week and got 2 a week, you'd be that's 104 listings a year. Really, if you think about it, your goal is to get about a listing a week, which is not that hard if you're out talking to prospects all the time. And of course, you need to get 1 a week because in the beginning you might want to get a bit more than that because your listings are selling. But as long as you continue to get about a listing a week, you're going to be extremely successful as a realtor. And what you're going to find is, in the beginning, it's like pushing something heavy up a hill. You're going to get to the top of the hill, and then the ball's going to go down the other side of the hill. It's going to roll because the more listings you have, the more listings you end up getting. It's just a matter of it's one of those things. The more people see your name out there, the more people that you do a great job for are going to be referring your services, and it just happens. So let's talk about pushing that ball up the hill. What do you need to do to get to the point where you're getting 1, 2, 3 listing appointments a week and walking out with a listing or 2 a week? So the first place that we're going to talk about finding prospects is in a high turnover area. If you're not familiar with what a high turnover area is and where to find a high turnover area, don't worry, we're going to teach you that right now. The first is a high turnover area. What it is it's an area where there's a lot of houses selling. Or for sale or selling, better selling, because if you walk into a neighborhood that's got 15 houses listed in the neighborhood or 20 houses listed in the neighborhood and none of them are selling, it actually really isn't a high turnover area. It's just an area that's got some problems, and there's a reason that more people are wanting to move out than move in. Sure, you could probably go get get listings there pretty easily, but our goal is not only to get listings, but it's also to sell listings. So what you want to do is you want to look through MLS. You want to go into MLS and you want to target areas that you see there are a lot of houses selling. So you say, wow, look in this geographic, one square mile radius. Look at all these houses that have sold in the town that I serve. And then break it down. Is there a neighborhood that's really been active and houses are going up and going down? Well, what does that mean? That means for whatever reason there's people buying and selling there. That's a high turnover area, and you want to work that area. So what do? You grab that area, you determine what that area is, and you learn who are the players in that area. Who is it that's out there getting the listings? Do you see the same name in there? If there's 10 listings, does somebody have 3 of them, or is there 15 listings? Somebody have 4 of them, or 2 of them, or whatever. Find out who the players are, and it doesn't have to be even the same agent. It could also just be the same firm. Find out who they are. Learn what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are. Now listen, you never, ever badmouth another agent or another agency's company, but people are going to learn and people are going to know what these companies are good at and what they struggle with. What you're going to do is you're going to speak to their strengths and how you're even stronger, and you're going to speak to what their weaknesses are and show that their weaknesses are your strength. Maybe they have a reputation of not following up. Well, of course, if you follow our Step Ahead Academy and you're using our follow-up plan, our communication plan that we teach you how to use, you have a regular communication plan in place that you take at the listing appointment. And you tell the person that. You say, look, when you list with me, we're going to schedule. Do you want to talk every 3rd Friday? Great. We're going to put that on the calendar and we're going to talk. Good news, bad news, or no news, we're going to talk. So these are the things that you want to know. And again, be prepared to speak to how you and our company has overcome the weaknesses that maybe some other company doesn't have. And the communication plan, that's a great example. I would say our company uses a communication plan. Most companies don't use that. So when we hear stories about people going and getting a listing and then never hearing from their agent again for 6 months, we don't ever have that happen because we're in touch with all our clients, and this is my plan to do that. So what do you do? So now you've found this area, you found this neighborhood, and this neighborhood's now a high turnover neighborhood, and you've targeted it. You've learned the strengths and the weaknesses of the other realtors there. What do you do? Well, I would tell you there's a bunch of things that you can do. I try to every Wednesday afternoon take the neighborhoods I've selected and go out with door hangers or postcards. Both are available, the town postcards. Both are available in our Vistaprint store. They're extremely inexpensive. But you don't even have to use those. You can use anything you want. And I'll go out and just go up to the neighbors and introduce myself and say, look, I'm the town guru. I'm just coming around the neighborhood to meet more neighbors, getting to know you a little bit. And you can either knock on their door. If you're not comfortable knocking on their door, just leave something there for them. Leave a door hanger and continue to do that over and over and over. What you'll find is if you've identified a good high turnover area, you're going to get your phone ringing. Because if you hit these neighborhoods once a month, and you don't have to go walk them if you don't want to, you can do mailings. It's a little bit more expensive to do a mailing. You could put signs out. One of the things and if you go through some of our community outreach plans in the Step Ahead Academy, one of the things I'll do is I run and I do this in Equestrian Estates in Egg Harbor Township. I'm working on doing another one possibly in Brigantine in an area in the spring. I do a community yard sale. Community yard sale is fantastic because you go and you find neighbors that want to, and again, you get flyers out to them. They'll call you and say, yes, I want to be a part of it. You sign them up on the list. We make a map of the neighborhood, and we show all the houses that are signed up. The day of the event, the day of the yard sale, I just walk around like I'm the mayor. I thank everybody that's there for coming to my event, and I either hand out the town postcards or I hand out my business cards to every person I meet. Tell them if they have a real estate need, they should call me. And it's an amazing way to find sellers. You're going to find some buyers in this because people will come into the neighborhood for a yard sale and say, wow, I'd love to live in this neighborhood. You're going to find all kinds of great things. So what I want you to do is I want you to identify, as we're doing a 30-day challenge that we talked about yesterday, I want you to find a high turnover area and identify it. I want you to find out who the players are as realtors in that neighborhood, find out their strengths and weaknesses, be ready to speak to it. Then I want you to get out and get in front of these people and get yourself some listing appointments. If you need more ideas of what to do, I like walking the neighborhood and having a presence in the neighborhood, especially this time of year when the air is, it's cool out. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. Normally in New Jersey, we can do that straight through usually until January. I usually will walk in neighborhoods from somewhere between March straight through December, and in December usually I buy magnets, refrigerator magnets with a calendar on them, and that's always a nice way to kind of make sure that your face is on the refrigerator. So there's so many different ideas you can do. Be creative with it, but get into these neighborhoods that are high turnover, work your way in there, and you're going to get listings. All right, guys, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow, and we're going to do the next part of this series, the 17 places to find prospects. Number 2 will be tomorrow. Have a great day.